Good day, good day, good day. Welcome back to class. There's Rose Consult. In this lesson, we are going to cover styles and adverbs. This is what we created in our earlier video. So if you haven't watched it or you don't understand how come we got this, then you should go back and watch and understand. That one being said, let us begin. Open our go to HTML and we created index.html in a later video. Today we are going to talk about styles, so we just create another file, or we call it styles.html. Click on enter to open it. Okay, so there we are. Now, this lesson will talk about anything at all that you would want to know about styles attributes. Styles attribute. We have covered attribute already. So if you don't understand it, you'll have to go back and watch. First of all, let's get our HTML document. That's great. That's great. Okay, after getting our HTML document structure, we'll add something. So the HTML style attribute is used to add styles to an element. Styles such as color, font size, font itself, and many more. So we just begin, okay? We just begin something. Let's first of all, okay, we'll give it a heading. And you say styles attribute, okay? Styles attribute. That's great. We go down. Then we'll start with some paragraph, okay? Let's do something like this. Maybe paragraph. There we go. Let's write I am brown. Okay. Sorry. Let's say I am green. Control plus S to save your work. Control plus 1 to view your work. Let's wait for it to load. Okay, so that's what we have over here. Okay. So this is what we covered in our previous lesson. I want to end it here. Okay, back again. Control plus 1. Then we will view it. Okay, so that's our styles attribute. Okay. Okay, so this is what we have. Does this thing look nicer? No. We do something about it? Yes. What should we do about it? Let's try and change the color. Okay, I've fed you. So now we can do that with what we call the styles attribute. So style over here. You call on S, T, and you are given options. So let's start from the list. So you get style there equal to and that. Okay. Call on the color property. Select that. Choose your color. Okay. For this guy, I will use maybe blue. Control plus, okay, control plus 1 to view styles attribute. That also, that's great. Now we go back here. So you see that we have been able to add color to our HTML without creating another file. Okay, we just added it straight away. But this one was specific to our H1 element. This guy says it is brown. So let's see if it is truly brown. So we do that by using the style attribute, call on color, and choose brown for it. Okay. It says it is brown, so brown, brown. Okay. Control plus S. This guy also says it is green. So let's give it a color of green, okay, by using what? Star. Star. Then you call on color. Then you give it green. It says it is green. So green. Green. Control plus S to save your work. Control plus 1 to view it. So there we go. Maybe it is too small for you. So add it. Okay. So if you see I am brown, I am green, then styles attributes. So we have been able to add styling to our HTML using the style what attribute. The HTML style attribute can be used for a lot of properties. So it has the following syntax. When we say syntax, it is that something follows. So syntax is a rule that something follows. So first of all, I'll just name this guy. Okay. So it follows the following syntax. There's the syntax. Syntax. Okay. The rule it follows. So you call on the style attribute, that style. You get it an equal to sign. So equal to, you have to get it opening and closing quote or quotes, double quote or single quote. You are good to go. Then the property will come here. The property will come. Then between the property and the value, you okay. After property, we have what? A semicolon and a value, and after that, so between the property and the value, we have a colon. After the value, we have a semicolon. See here. Let me highlight it here. This is the style attribute. So this is our style. That's right. This are color property, and this is the value, which is blue. I hope you can see that. So that's the syntax or the rule follows. If you want to write it and write it correct, this is the rule. So you see style to, then you give it double quote or single quote, then property, and you move on to what? Value. That's right. Okay, so that's the syntax. The property here is a CSS property, and the value is the CSS. The CSS is hidden style sheet. Okay, so we'll get in depth later on when we begin CSS. So this was the CSS color property with the CSS color value. Okay. Okay. Now let's see if we would be able to change the background of our styles attribute that we had earlier on. The background. Now the background is what? The background is white. The background is, I hope you know the background. It is white. Everything here. It is white. We would want to change the color. We can change the color by specifying background color over here. Okay. So typing it, you should get background color. And which color would it? The color blue. Maybe I should use green yellow over here. Press enter. So I expect my background color for styles attribute to change. Let me go back. Okay, so this is our styles attribute. This is our styles attribute. Want the background color to be what? To be green yellow. Okay. Okay, so you take note. You see, the style is here. This is the what? Quotation mark, and the other quotation mark will be at this side. Let me see if we could go there. So here's the other quotation mark. I hope you can see it. There is it. So whatever properties and its value should still be in the word, the quotation marks, just the one quotation mark that you specified earlier on. Now you separate the property value per what? A semicolon. Okay, so you see that after the color property and its value, which is blue, I gave it a semicolon and I gave some space. Then I moved on to the next word property, which is the what? The background color in this case. And I'm specifying the value for it to be green, yellow, and I'm having what? New column after this as well. That's really great. So let's press Control plus S to save it. Control plus 1 to view. Wait for it. Bam. So you could see that our styles attribute is now in background color of what? Green, yellow. Okay, green, yellow. That we have been able to specify a background color for this. Seems my color is not that well. Or are you okay with it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You want a different color, right? I know you. So should I give it orange? Orange and blue wouldn't match. Let's give it which color? Black. Eh, man. Oh no. Okay, so maybe I should give it. Or let me use tomato. Tomato color. Tomato. So this is my tomato color. Control plus X. Control plus 1 to do it. Tomato is not really nice. Irish. There we go. There you go. So that's it. Okay, so we've been able to change the background color of our heading. Now we move on. If you want to change the background color of a page, what we did was to change it for just the head, which is styles attribute. If you want to change it for a page, then you put the styles attributes inside of your body element. Okay, so style, then the background color. Okay, background color. Okay, select it from there. Then let's choose power violated. Would it help? It wouldn't make our page. Or say, let's go to this guy. Kill this guy. That's it. Control plus S, and we are good to go. Now we refresh our page to see the background. Control plus 1. Wait for that. This thing is taking too long. Okay, so there we go. So you see that the page, the color of the page has changed. Everything has changed automatically. It has changed. That's really, really great. So we have been able to change the color. How did we do it? We did that by putting the style attribute inside of what? Inside of our body element. Inside of our body element. So you will set the background color for this one, the last paragraph element that we are having here. So we'll come here, background color again. Okay, background color, need color. There we go. Then maybe I should give this guy red. Enter. Control plus S, Control plus 1. Okay, so there we are. So this is what we are having now. It seems our let me bring this back. It seems our text for the paragraphs are too small. So let's try and make it a bit larger. Okay. So in that case, we'll use what we call size. To get font size. Then we'll give it maybe so we have the option. We have large, larger, medium. So let me use maybe large. It's okay. Control plus S, Control plus 1. So you could see I am brown now a bit bigger than I am green because we haven't specified the font size for I am green. Okay, I am green. So let's do that. Font and size. Let's choose larger for this guy. Control plus S, Control plus 1. Wait for it to load. And you see that it is also now bit bigger. Okay, and readable. So that's it. That's it. Go back here. Okay. So this is what we have so far. It's where we've gotten so far. Okay. It's where we've gotten so far. Let's move on. The text color. We have already changed the text color, right? And so we change the color of the text. And we have also changed the font size. Now we would want to specify a font family, whether Arial Black, Verdana, Helvetica, Carrier, just name them. They are there. Okay. So we would want to specify a font family. So let me say I am a font family. Okay. Font family. And we go to this guy. I am a font family. Then maybe style. Okay. Style from the list. Then you choose font from here. And you have the options over here. So you have a whole lot. I will use the sans serif. So, bam, there I go. There I go. So with the font family, we have Arial, we have Helvetica, we have sans serif. Sans serif. You separate the font families um with comma. Oh, it's comma. That's great. So Control plus S, Control plus 1. Then we view it. Do you see any challenge, any difference? No. Okay. So maybe we should change this so that you see what is actually happening. Hmm? So that maybe you will see what is actually happening. Okay. Okay, so let's use this guy plus Control plus 1. Okay, so you see I am font family. See how that text is different from the rest. Okay. That text is totally different from the rest. Okay, so that's that. Maybe I should change the background color because it's not helping us. It is not making our code readable. Then also, yes, where is it? Stop pulling. Okay, so maybe choose white or black. That's okay. I doubt black will be fine. Black. So Control plus S and Control plus 1. Damn it. Okay, so font family is now even visible again. So let's choose white. Okay. So you choose the best color. Choose the best color to make your text and everything on your site readable, please. Okay, so let's choose white and go back. White smoke is okay. We now view it and everything should be fine now. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so that is that. That is that. Okay, now we move on to the next thing. The text size, you increase or decrease it with the font size. Then you would be able to align your text. Normally, your heading should be at the center, right? It should be at the center. So you say you use the property called text align. So you have text align over there, and you choose center from there. Control plus S, control plus 1. So now our styles attribute should be at the center. That's great. So we are having it at the center. You see where the rest is starting from. Okay. So we did that using what? Our text align from. Okay. So what have we learned so far? In this lesson, we've learned what the style attribute is. We have learned how to change the background color for our page, the background color for an element on the page. We have also learned how to change the color of our text, and we have also learned how to use the font family. We've learned how to use the font size, and we have also learned about text align. Okay, let's tackle the next thing over here. Next thing over here. We'll learn how to format. Sometimes you need your text to be in bold, sometimes in we'll get there. Maybe you are writing a formula, a scientific formula, let's say H2O. How do you write it? Okay, so that's the next thing that we would tackle. So tackle. It seems this thing is too large and everything. Okay, so that's it. I hope you can see. If you cannot, let me know. You cannot, you let me know. Okay, that's that. How about you? Okay, so let's move on. Let's say you would want to, you would want to go down. Okay, so let's call on our H1 element again, and we say formatting test. Formatting, formatting, formatting your test. Okay. The HTML contains several elements for defining a text special meaning. So each and every text has job that it does. Okay. And for instance, the formatting test that we have placed here will make this formatting test stand as what? A heading. The paragraph element makes its content stand as what? Headings. Okay. Okay. Then we'll learn one or two ways to format our text for them to stand separately from the rest, or for them to be in a certain form that is easily recognizable. Okay, that's great. So formatting element, we'll be using the bold, the strong, the italic, the emphasis, the mark, the small, the a whole lot. Okay, a whole lot. So let us begin. Let us begin. Okay, so first we need a paragraph. So say we or learn test formatting now with Windows What am I seeing? Rules consult. What am I seeing? Rules consult. Okay. But there is basically something that we've written. Rules consult. It rules consult. Okay. So that's it. It rules consult. Okay. Now we would want to emphasize certain things or make certain part of this stand or new line. Okay. Or stand in a way that you would want it to be. Okay. So for instance, let's say I want to rules consult bold. Okay, first of all, we have to view it. Control plus S, control plus 1 to see what written so far. Okay, so that's it. We have formatting test. We will learn test formatting now with rules consult. Okay, that's really great. Now let's continue. With formatting test, we would want to first things. So maybe I want now to be in italic. Okay, so let me cut that by for the italic element. Okay, then I will paste it now. Then plus we'll view it now and see. What do we see here? You could see, let me enlarge this guy so that you see it well. You could see that now is in italic now, okay? This in italic. I hope that's okay with you. That's great. Maybe we want it to be in boldface, control plus X, and maybe I should get rid of this man for on the bold. That's B. So I is for italic and B is for bold. Okay. So let me paste it now. Okay. Control plus S, control plus 1. Okay, so what do we see now? You see that now is now what? Bold format. Okay. So that's it. Now. Here is now. Okay. That's really good. Okay. Now again, I have to get rid of this guy and get rid of this. Also, we'll call on the strong element. Okay, strong element. There it is. Then we'll paste this guy again. Now, okay. Then control plus S, control plus 1. Let's see what. So you see that now it's still in what? Bold form. Bolding form. Maybe I should increase the font size of this guy. I'll increase it using what? Style. Okay. Style attribute. Then call on the font size. Font size. Where is size? Font size. Okay. Bam. Then I would say maybe 45 px so that it becomes a bit larger. Control plus S, control plus 1. Let's see. Okay. So I hope now it is okay. We will learn text formatting now with. You see that our noun is still in bold form. Okay. So there is one thing you will have to know. There is some relation between the italic and the emphasis element. We will be learning very soon. Okay. Then there is also a relationship between the bold and the strong element. Let us begin. So the bold, which is the B, strong, they seem to perform the same function. Don't deceive yourself. The bold element defines bold text without any extra importance. They define bold text without any extra importance. The HTML strong element defines text with strong importance. The content inside is typically displayed in bold. Okay, it is typically displayed in bold. So it displays text with what? Strong importance. Okay, you should take key note of that. Then the emphasis and the italic. Okay, so first of all, right, this control plus S is that. Okay, so let's call on our emphasis element here. Bam. Then let's paste it. Control plus S, control plus 1. Let's view it. Okay, so you see that our noun is now in what? Italics. Now in italics. You see the noun is too small, so I'll be choosing formatting now. So let me get rid of here. Okay, so I'll choose formatting for our work now. Okay. Control plus S. Then let me call on the italic element again. That's formatting. Control plus S, control plus 1. Okay. Okay, so you see formatting is now in what? Italics. That's great. Let's come back. Then maybe control plus V. What exactly? Yes, control plus V. So I'll call on my emphasis element now. Here, there we go. Okay, formatting. Control plus S, control plus 1. Okay, so formatting is also in italics now. Okay, so what's the difference? You see that the italics and the formatting seem to perform the same function. They seem to perform the same thing. But in reality, they are not. What is the difference here? The HTML italic defines a part of a text in an alternate voice or mode. The content inside is typically displayed in the italic tag is often used to indicate a technical term, a phrase from another language, a thought, a ship name, just name them. So anything that you would want it to sound very special, to demonstrate what? A voice or mood, then you could use the italic element. Okay, you could use the italic element. What about the emphasis? The HTML emphasis element defines emphasized text. The content inside is typically displayed in. Here's the difference. A screen reader will pronounce the words in what? Emphasis element with an emphasis using verbal stress. So let's say, for instance, when a screen reader is to read this, we will learn the formatting with rose consult. Okay, so you see the difference. Learn text formatting with rose consult. So this signifies that formatting is in what? Emphasis, or it has been emphasized. You take key note of that. Take key note of that. Okay, now we will be using our next element. We call it the small element. Small. Okay, so let me paste formatting again. Control plus S, control plus 1. Let's see what comes out today. Okay, so you see formatting is not changing. It doesn't really do anything. Okay. So the small element just defines what? Small text. by relative. There is nothing small. Can't see anything. Okay. Then we have one that we call the mark element. Hmm? The mark element. Okay. Sometimes you need this guy. Mark. There we go. Mark. Then we'll paste our content now. Control plus S. Control plus S. Control plus 1. Wait for it to do. Okay. So you see, this is what? Formatting. Basically, it adds a special color to this. Let's say if you are reading your text or your book and you want to highlight something, you use the uh, uh, pen or whatever you call it to highlight that part. Okay. So if you want to make a that marking, then you use the mark element you are given here. So the HTML mark element defines text that should be marked or highlighted. Okay, so in this case, we have highlighted our formatting text. Okay, okay. Now we have the insert element. INS represent insert. Okay, control plus V, then control plus S, control plus 1. Okay, let's move on. Insert, what do you see? We see a line under it. So this shows that formatting has been inserted from maybe a page or something like that. I hope you are getting it. So the HTML insert element defines a text that has been inserted into a document. Browsers will usually underline inserted text so as a date to go. Okay. Now that we have covered a lot. We would want to know how to use maybe I want to write exponents. Maybe I want to write H2O formulas for scientific stuff. Okay, let's see how that one is done. So first of all, we tackle the sub element. Let me come to this, then go up. Okay, go up now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so column paragraph. Okay, I am uh, science formula, science formula, science formula. A science student, you forgive me if I get it wrong. Okay, so let me try and enlarge it by a bit. Give it a font size of maybe 45, yes. Okay, I am a science formula. Mm. Let me write it here, a science formula. So maybe I want to write H2O, science formula. Okay, so I use the sub, sorry. Yes, sub, then two, then outside the sub, I will bring my word O. Okay, my O. Okay, then should be this. A science formula. Control plus S, control plus 1. Let's be able to see. Okay, so you see that, okay, there is a space here which is not needed. We need to close this place. Control plus S, control plus 1. Okay, so you see H2O, I am a science formula. Okay, I am a science formula. So whenever you would want a number or a letter to fall down to be a subscript, to be a subscript, then you use the sub element. You use the sub element. Okay. We'll take another paragraph, and paragraph. This paragraph will contain around math item. I'm a math item. Okay. Let's say I want to write 10 raised to the power 5. So in that case, so the HTML sub element defines subscript. Subscript text. Subscript text appears have a character below the normal line and is sometimes rendered in a small font. Subscript text can be used for footnotes, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay. Sorry, it can be used for chemical formulas like H2O, as we have done here. Okay. Then we move on to 10. Let's say 10 raised to the power, semicolon, tab. Fine. Let me close this guy. 10 to the power 5. Okay, this is what I want to write. Control plus S, control plus 1. Let's see. Okay, so this is too small. I hope you can see it. 10 raised to the power 5 over here. If you cannot, don't worry. I'll let you see by cross down 5 and 45. 45 is okay. Pixels. 45 pixels. Control plus S. Control plus 1. That's really great. So you could see, where's my eye? Somebody has stolen my eye from here. Okay, control plus S. Control plus S. Control plus 1. Let's wait. Okay, so you can see I am what? Math item over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, control plus F, control plus 1. Okay, so the sub element is for superscript. Superscript. Superscript text appears have a character above the normal line. Okay, and it is sometimes rendered in a small font. So as compared to this guy, you see that as compared to this. Okay, and it's for footnotes and a whole lot. Okay, so that would be that. What have we covered so far? In this lesson, we have learned how to use this element. This element, they are very, very important. The bold element, the strong element, which seems to have the same effect, but in reality, they are different. The italic element and the emphasis element, which also seem to perform the same function, but are different. The mark element is used to highlight part of a text. The delete element, okay, we haven't done that. Let me see. Let me see if I don't want to learn again, which I'm sure some of you would in some time to come say they will learn again because they don't know what they are doing, what they've learned for. That case, let's them to delete learn from the dictionary. So then V, okay, learn. Let's see what happens. Plus S, control plus 1. So we use the delete element to delete part of a text or to show that a part of a text has been what? Deleted. We don't need this again. So we will not learn again. We will not learn again. No problem. Don't learn again. You can do. What is this? Okay. So that's really, really great. So we've learned how to use the bold element, the strong element, the I for italic, EM for emphasis, mark, small, then del, and also insert and sub and sub. Okay, that we've learned how to use them. Okay, we've learned how to use them. I hope this lesson has been very educative, intuitive, informative, and we have learned a lot. Keep learning and never relent on that. Okay, it is the only thing you can do with time. Now I want to cover another one here. We'll be covering another one here. Mhm. This time we will cover what we call quotations and citations in HTML pages. Please, whatever we are learning here, they are very, very important for your own good. So you grab them in both hands. H1, the quotations, quotes, maybe something that's just something you want to use it, quotations and citations. Citations. Okay. Control plus S. Okay. So there we go. I should change the font size for all my elements here because I can't see calling on font size all the time. Okay. So if you want to change the font size for everything on your page, then you insert the font size property inside of your body element. Okay, body element. It automatically registers all other items on your page to have the same font size. Okay, so if you want to make any changes, you go to a particular element that you would want to make the change and apply a different font size to that. Okay, that's really great. So let's view it and see. Control plus S plus 1. Let's see. Okay, so everything is almost large now. So we specify a font size for I am brown. That's why that one looks a bit smaller over here. Let's go back and get rid of that. I am brown. Here is it. Thank you again. Thank you for the work that you've done for us. Don't need you. Bye bye you. Okay, that's great. Control plus S, control plus 1. Let's now be able to see. So you see that brown is now of good. Okay. So quotations and citations. Maybe there is one thing that I didn't tell you before now. The formatting, we have the U for underline, also the U for underline. I don't know if it's still in existence. Okay. It'll work. Let's see if the lines are test for us. Okay. Okay, so it is working. It is working. So that's one thing that you have learned again. Okay, now let's continue. Citations and quotations. We'll learn what a block quote is. We'll learn the field element or the quote element, the abbreviation element, address element, the cite element, and a whole lot. A whole lot. So let's tackle the block quote element. The HTML block quote element. The HTML block quote element defines a section that is quoted from another source. Browsers usually indent block quote elements. Okay, so it usually defines a section that is quoted or taken from a different source. So let's see. The block quote element is a block level element. So let me see. Block quote. There we have it. Okay. Let's see. Prof. Row set. Prof. Row. Prof. Row set. And I quote. Are you quoting? Yes. Learning, learning. Learning is the only, what is happening? Is the only thing, only thing you can do, you can do with your life. Your Okay, control plus S, control plus one. Let's view it and see. Okay, so you see, it has been indented. Indented means there is a and the page. Okay, so this is the indentation that has been indented. Nice one. So we are saying that the block quote element defines a section that's quoted from another source. Browsers usually indent block quote element. So if you want to quote something that was said by someone, then use block quote. Okay, use block quote. Control plus one. Okay, so there we go. So we still have that. Prof. Rose said, learning is the only thing you can do with your life, which is very true. It's very, very true that you should always learn. Learning is very, very important. That's the only thing as a human being for me, I know you should do with your life. Okay? I know you should do with your life. So we'll call on, we use the kill element to represent quote for short. Quote for short. Okay. The kill element, we use it to represent quote for short. Okay. So let's move on. So the kill or the kill type or element is a short form for what? Browsers normally insert quotation around the quotation. So for instance, maybe I didn't want to specify, sorry, I didn't want to specify this guy by myself. So let's see if it happens for us. It has to insert this one for me by it yourself. Okay. Prof. said kill, colon kill. Okay. You and choose that from the list. Then V. Okay. Control plus S, control plus one. We'll go down and see. So you see that and the work for me by inserting uh, quotation marks around this guy for me. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so what the next thing? What the next thing to cover here? Now we have learned about block quote. The block quote consists of everything that you would want to say. Okay, it is in the form of a block. If you would want to separate the particular thing and add your own to it, okay, add your own to it, then you place that inside of the word of the kill element. The kill element. Okay, let's move on. The abbreviation element. Abbreviation. Maybe sometimes you would want to input an abbreviation. The HTML is from that guy. ABBR. Okay, so this okay, ABBR. The HTML ABBR tag or element defines an abbreviation of code like HTML, CSS, Mr., Doctor, ESA, CM. Just mentioned. So marketing can give useful information to browsers, translation systems, and search engines. You use the global attribute to show the description for the abbreviation or acronym when you mouse over the element. Okay, so what do we see here? We have abbreviation, we have the title. What do we use this guy for? Let's see. Now, maybe I would want to represent my abbreviation with the abbreviation comes, then the title will describe or tell us the full meaning of the abbreviation. Okay, so let's start. So this hypertext, hypertext, hyper. What am I writing? Hypertext markup language. Language. Okay. So what does this stand for? Or what is its abbreviation? The abbreviation is what? HTML. Somebody might think that he or she is too smart and can do this thing without, for the sake of res- responsive websites. On a responsive website, it means that it is not only those who can read that visit your website, those who maybe who are unfortunately blind should also visit your website and get something very informative from that. Let's say you are designing a website for a school. The school is the school for the blind, the school for the blind, and you have to design a website for such a school. Do you think that just designing anything is okay? No, you should follow the instructions or the rules for the game. You do this so that those who are blind will come to your website and will be able to get the information they are supposed to get at your place. Okay, please be taking note of that. It is very, very important. So let's see. Control plus S, control plus one to view it. Let's go down here. So you see, now we have the HTML only here. Let me put my mouse over that. Do you see what I'm seeing? Okay, maybe I should unlock this guy for a better. Hmm. If you put your mouse over there, oh, okay. So if you put your mouse on HTML, you see that the hypertext markup language comes up. Okay, it comes up. So that's what abbreviation is used for. Whenever you are abbreviating something, you should use the abbreviation. It is very, very important. Okay. So the moment, if let's say the blind person comes and places the mouse here, then the voice translation or the voice reader or screen reader will just read this thing to the person, hypertext markup language, so that the person will know, oh, okay, on hypertext markup language. Okay. There are more abbreviations that you would want to insert. So let's call on abbreviation again. Abbreviation again. This time, okay. HRC. I'm not having okay. Abbreviation. Then who? Hmm? Who? Who stands for what? World Health what? World Health Organization org- organization that also World Health Organization. So I come here and maybe write who. And I would want to was founded in 1948. Okay, was founded in 1948. Control plus S, control plus 1. So we have another abbreviation down there. Okay, so who? Okay, who was founded? If I put it on it, what organization comes? Okay, was founded. But since they are on the same line, even though they are not here, so I would have to separate the notes and be out elements. Okay, that's great. Control plus S, control plus 1. Okay, so now it is on a different line. Was founded in 1948. Okay, that's really great. That's really, really great. Okay, now we move on to the address element. The address element. What is the address for? For contact, right? For contact information. The HTML address element defines the contact information for the author or owner of a document or an article. Please take note of this. The HTML address element defines the contact information for the author or owner of a document or an article. The contact information can be an email address, a URL, a physical address, a phone number, a social media handle. Okay, so if you are fortunate to have a work from a company and you want to include the address, you use the address element. The text in the address element usually renders in italic, and browsers will always add a line break before and after the address element. Okay, so let's see. Maybe you want to come to Rose Consult. Okay, you would want to come to Rose Consult. Let's see. Help us on the address element. First of all, Rose Consult. Rose Consult. Consult. Rose Consult. Maybe visit S at right. We are visit us at maybe Ghana Accra is Legon to be specific. Okay, is Legon to be specific. Is Legon. Okay, then we move on. So we are let's bring Ghana down here. Okay, Ghana. Okay, then Great Ghana. Okay, control plus S, control plus 1. So this is giving you the address. This is giving you the address to what? Rose Consult. the rows consort. Control plus one, then we wait for it. Okay. Okay. So let's move down here. Okay, so you see rows consort, visitors at, no, I didn't do it. Let me do this guy. Okay, control plus S, control plus one. Okay, let's move on down here. The rows consort, you see that it has been automatically what? Been italicized. Then rows consort, this is us at Accra, East Legon, Ghana. You see, so this is what our address. This our address. It is very important, please. Whenever you need an address for a company or whatever be it, you put it inside the address element. Okay. Then we move on to the cite for citation. The cite for citation. The cite element. The HTML cite tag or element defines the title of a creative work. Example, a book, a poem, a song, a movie, a painting, a sculpture. Okay. Okay. So, for instance, a person's name is not a title of a work. You take note of that. A person's name is not a title of a work, unless maybe the person used his or her name as a title. Are you getting it? Okay. So, for instance, Paul can be the title of the book of Paul in the Bible. Okay. Okay. But let's say I am Ro. I've written a book and I've given it the title HTML. In that case, Ro is not the title for my book. Okay. Okay, so the text in the cite element usually renders in italic. So if you want to include a name for a title, a creative work, a book, a poem, a song, a movie, a painting, a sculpture, and other stuff, then you could use the cite element. So let's follow on cite. Okay. So maybe um, let me see. Okay, let me include this guy inside of the paragraph. Okay. And cite. Okay. I would want to give a name. A name or cite. Okay. I want to call on a name of a song. Okay. But I think that one is okay. I'll just call on 24. 24. I don't know who created that from USA. It is a movie that I really like. From maybe USA. USA. Okay. Control plus S, control plus one. Okay. Let's go down there and see. So you see 24 from USA. So the 24 is more valid. 24. It is a very nice movie. I really like that movie though. That's not the reason why we're here. Then BDO. BDO is for bi-directional override. BDO stands for bi-directional override. The HTML BDO tag is used to override the current direction. So maybe I would want from USA to be in a different. Now from USA is moving from the left to the right. Okay, so just cut it from BD. There it is. Then I will specify a direction. RTL. I want it from the right to the left. Okay. Then I'll paste my content now. I'll paste my content now from USA. Control plus S, Control plus S, Control plus 1. Let's see what happens. Let's go to from USA. So you see from I started from this side. So from what? USA. Okay, so from USA. So that's the use of the bidirectional override. Bidirectional override. I hope you have learned a lot. We've learned what a block quote is. I think we even have inline quote. Inline quote. There are a whole lot of stuff. We cannot learn everything here. So as you are there, please, you have to be doing research on your own. Okay, be researching to understand. If you don't understand anything, we are there for you to consult us. Inline. Okay, that will be that. Okay, so we have covered a lot over here. We have covered a lot over here. First of all, we started with styles. We learned how to use the style attributes, and we learned how to change the color of our text, change the background color of our elements, and change the background color for our page. We learned a bit of formatting over here. We learned how to use the I, the EM, the B, the strong, the delete, the mark, the super, and the sub, and a whole lot. And we have also learned about quotations and citations, which are very, very important. In writing, if you are writing a text, a book, or a document, and you don't use the right citations, I know you know the consequence. So it is very, very important for you to use the right citations always. So we learn about block quotes, and we also learned about quotes. Okay, we learned about abbreviation and the title element. We learned about address, and we also learned about bidirectional override. Bidirectional override. And don't you forget, we also learned about the cite element. This has been a very long topic, but I'm sure that you've learned a lot. It has been very useful, educative, entertaining, and interactive. And I'm sure you wouldn't regret watching this video. Bye bye for now. Let us meet in our next lesson. Stay blessed, stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay, for more educative videos like this. See you then. Bye.